Hello there racers, Apex Predator here, and welcome to another Gran Turismo Sport Group 4 race this time at Brands Hatch Grand Prix Circuit. As you can see there, we're in the M4, new livery this time, it's like a Brazilian livery, quite like it. I quite like racing with sort of real liveries. I don't think you'll see many other cars running this livery. Anyway, I didn't have much time to qualify for this race. I think I hopped into it after doing another one. So we're starting quite far down the grid, 15th out of 20. Here we go. Let's go on the outboard for now. But the penalties are in play. That's going to prove a crucial factor in this race. So this is racing under the new penalties algorithm. I am an S-rank driver now. I'm racing with a few A's. Let's see how that plays out. So starting from the back, which arguably is my fault, didn't spend enough time on qualifying, but I'm not really fast enough in qualifying to get myself too far up the grid anyway, to be honest. I tend to perform better in the race. We'll see. There's someone already with a penalty, unlucky. So we're up to 14th. In behind this Mustang. You can't stand it up inside the Hawthorns. I think I said this on my other video, Brands is a very tight track to overtake on, very narrow racing line. So it's all about patience. And this race in particular was a lesson in conservative driving, I'd say. Look, I'm driving miles off my limit, just sort of cruising around here. But this is what's happened, this is what the penalties have done. So there's no point me hassling that Mustang. Actually, as well, it's a 16 lap race, isn't it? So I touched on this in the last Brands video I did, but if you're caught in traffic, there's no point burning off more petrol and tyre tread than you need to, because you're not going anywhere if there's a car blocking your path in front. So just sort of take it easy. That's what I'm doing here, letting these guys scrap it out, and I'm hoping that I can just look after my tyres, scrub off the bare minimum speed, and just try and, you know, just take it easy, have a conservative drive and see if a race comes to me. So these two are having a great scrap at the moment, and we are slightly closing up on them. So the Mustang's gone through. That was a bit sketchy. We all got away with it though. Someone's off the track up ahead. We all make it through. Vulcan Spirit there on the right, must be serving a penalty. So we're up to 11th, there's another car here, look, that's a horrible place to find yourself, slow on the apex of Hawthorns. Moses is having a look, and I didn't want to get up the inside there, but it just sort of happened. Got the yellow flag, so I've had to lift a little bit for this beaver, and he's backed out of it as well. So here we go, up into 9th now. It's all happening. Tyres are still looking good. How's this guy's tyres looking? See? Look at his left front. Much more worn. What about the Mustang? He's doing alright. They're about the same, but they're scrapping. So we've got a slight tyre advantage at this stage, and we're only lap 3. Fuel looks to be 1, 2, 3. We've got about 3/4 left. So we've used a quarter of our fuel. 12. So you need to aim for 8 laps really on the fuel, which we can definitely do actually, because we've done 3 on a quarter, so yeah, we're fine. Look how long I'm off the throttle. You see how I'm just letting the car drift into the corner, not overworking the tyres. And we're not going backwards as a result either. So we're staying in touch, and we're not really using much of our tyre. He's right in the middle of the road there. But 9th and 15th is pretty good progress, but it wouldn't have happened without the penalties. You see the amount of people I've passed who were just serving penalties. But not necessarily a bad thing, because we've been racing cautiously. And I suppose up until this patch, you've not been rewarded for that cautious driving. racing isn't all that it depends on the race, but certainly a race like this, it's not about a sprint. It's just about. In fact, was this a nations race? I think it might have been. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Was it a manufacturer's? I think it was either a manufacturer's or a nations. That will explain the race length, won't it? Oh, he's a bit squirrely on the brakes there, wasn't he? Mustang's gone wide as well. To Cooper straight. We're going to 30s. Good drive out. We're all over the back of this guy. There's just nowhere to get through, especially if he's going to be overly defensive, because I don't want a penalty. A track like Brands, there's probably going to be side-to-side contact. In all honesty, when you make a move in any place, because there's just not enough room on the track. So he's gone off the track there, and he still hasn't given me room. He's gone off the track again. So we're going to have to just go up the inside. Here we go, make it work. Nice clean move, I suppose. We just let him make his own mistakes. Can we pull away? Let's have a look. We've got that Mustang to catch as well. So we've got some clean air now. And now you can put your tyres to good use. So this is exactly what I was talking about. There would have been no point in pushing too hard, caught up in traffic and burning off your tyres, because you can't go anywhere. So save them for a point in the race where you can, like now. So now we can push, now we can make use of that rubber that we've saved. And it's all about just maximising your own race as best you can. So I think we're closing up on this Mustang. He's looking a bit closer through here than he was previously. Fuel's looking good, back just about half a tank. We've only got to get through another 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 laps, we'll be fine. More like 3.5 by now anyway. Here we go, 30s, wide on the approach, come back through this apex, drive up the hill. That was a really good example of how you take that corner right there, proud of myself. Then we go through Pilgrim's Drop, coming up. On to the approach for Hawthorns, tricky corner. And I think towards the end of the race I realised that the double downshift was better there, so 6th to 5th to 4th, and again from here, 5th to 4th to 3rd. Because engine braking gives you a lot in this game. I've only really recently discovered that. Because it's not really good driving practice just to mash the gearbox. I think I got distracted there. Ran a bit wide at Sheen. Now this guy, he was mad at me after this race. So let's watch and see if he's got a case. Now he went off the track there, and then he blocked to defend, so that's a little contentious already. If you've gone off the track, obviously you don't want to lose any more positions than you have to, but you shouldn't really be blocking another car who's got the momentum. But I don't think that was too bad, that was fair enough. I'm not mad at him for that, that's fine. Having a look up the inside here, he's turned in on me, I had to come out of it, otherwise I would have got a penalty. I don't think that was the smartest move on his decision. He's put himself in a position where there was going to be contact unless I backed out of it, and I chose to back out of it because I didn't want the penalty. So I mean, maybe that's how it should be. I think I got a penalty for that. That touch with Moses. Starting to get frustrated. So anyway, let's see if we can get Cobman Fiki. Cobman _ Feki, for K. The guy on the other M4, let's just put it that way. The German in the M4 in front. He's got quite an interesting livery though, I quite like it. Looks sort of like a DTM kind of style. Sort of noughties DTM kind of effect, I quite like it. But we do seem to have the pace on him. We're catching him again. So... We've got 2 laps left. It's already a good result anyway, actually, isn't it? Up from 15th to 8th. You don't need to be trying particularly hard to be too aggressive here, but I'm not hassling him too hard, apart from that look up into Druids on the last lap where he shut the door quite late. I mean, I'm not even mad at that. That's, you know, fine. Fair enough, it's racing. what I'm mad at is the way they get mad at me for the slightest of things. Hey, never mind. People are people, aren't they? I was a bit too tight on my way there, you see, but how am I defending? Where's Moses? Nah, he's miles behind. It's just a mistake. But like I said, I'm not driving at the maximum here. I'm just trying to just stay with this guy because he's already shut the door on me quite firmly. So I don't want to. I've already got the picture of him not being particularly compliant with me. So when that's the case, you need to be very decisive with your move. And that's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick on his bumper until he gives me somewhere where there's no chance of me getting a penalty. But we're all over him, look. But what can you do? It's Brands, you know. Oh, please don't touch me, please don't touch me, thank you. So we're through, we're past this guy, we're faster than him and we're past him. Cleanly as well, I might add. Lap 8, end of stint 1 I'd say. I was debating staying out because I spent my whole first stint trying to find some clear air. And am I going to catch these guys in front? Are they going to pit? Should I stay out? These are all the decisions you need to be thinking about mid-race. So let's run through the pros and cons for each decision. Clear air is nice because you're not getting held up, you're not compromising your lines, you can drive your maximum. The only problem is I would be in that clear air on what are now looking like some pretty worn tyres, especially on that left side. So, would the time that I'd make driving in clear air be enough to get over the deficit in lap time that I'd have from that left side of my car being worn? Through these corners you lose a lot of time with worn tyres on that left side. So I'm thinking at this point, especially with how I struggled through Westfield just there, that the best decision is probably to come in, get refreshed tyres, pit at half distance, and you never know, we might get some clear air on the other side of the pit stop anyway. I think that's probably what would have been going through my mind right now. We'll see. But that's what you need to weigh up. Is the advantage that you can gain from staying out going to outweigh the advantage that you get from fresh tyres and vice versa? So we're going to the pits. Careful on the entrance. I do like watching this pit sequence. Good job. We sit ages for the fuel, don't we? Probably don't need quite a full tank yet. There we go. Alright, so Cobman's got back in front. I'm not quite sure how that's happened. Must have been better on the fuel. Cat's going for something. What are you doing? Oh. Right. He's got a bit deep into Druids. Heavy fuel, probably. Sorry, Cat's going for the keyboard. Get off. I've got it. We're good. So, we've got to chase down Cobman again. And we've already seen he's not really up for having some good side-by-side battles. He's more about the defensive driving. And on Brands, with this penalty algorithm, it's tough. It's very tough. Still driving quite conservatively though. He's not though. You know, because there's no point burning off too much of your tyre early in your stint, because then you're going to be slow towards the end of it. So you just always got to be thinking about these things. As he's pushing very hard through there. And look, he's not driving away from me, and he's pushing and we're not. So we've got the advantage because we're not using our tyres. Go to the outside here. I'm not trying to run around the outside, although I ended up doing it anyway. So we're well ahead right now. Look, well we're not. We're side by side, but we're almost ahead. He gives me a little tap there, and guess what? I got a penalty for that. You know, you just can't race. You can't race. Leaving him room the whole time. Leaving room here. Look, I could have easily ran him off, but I haven't. Another penalty, thanks mate. Still leaving him space, and there we go, we finally got the corner, but we got 2 penalties in the process. Brilliant. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. It's putting me off racing. Because again, I don't think I did anything wrong there. I've left the guy room. Why am I coming out of that with a penalty? And we'll see it again in this race as well. That Moses driver, do you remember him? In that yellow... Was it a Lancer? I'm not even sure. Oh, what was that? Was that a tap? Better not have been. That'd be another penalty if it was. So I've got some... There you go, he's serving a penalty. Better serve mine sometime soon as well, but you don't want to serve it on a straight, really, because you'll lose more time. The best place to serve a penalty is in a slow corner, on the approach or the exit of a slow corner, off the racing line. That's where you want to be serving penalties. So I try and serve it here, look. I signalled to that guy, but he nearly hit me. It's just dangerous. You want to serve these bloody penalties. There we go, Moses, look, now he's behind me, pressuring me, because I had to serve that penalty. But I only got given because Cobman slightly bumped me whilst I was leaving him room. And I think I'm going to get another one from Moses. Still driving well within the car and myself though. We're not driving too erratically. Looking after the tyres. I didn't mean to do that, sorry. Here we go. Good Hawthorns, nice and gentle, nothing crazy. You see I'm using 4th gear for that corner now. I was initially just trying to leave it in 5th and kind of coast through, but you need that engine braking just to control the speed. I was finding anyway. Nice double downshift here for Sheen, love that corner. Bit wide there though, got away with it. Moses has got a run now, so we're going to defend. Leaving him room though, look. And he hits me, another penalty, brilliant. I was getting really mad at this point. I'm leaving these guys room, and I keep getting penalties for doing so. And what's also frustrating is, I think that Moses driver was an A-rated driver, so it's not clear that he's getting the same penalty. So here we go, pull over again. Serve another penalty that I don't really feel I deserve to have. And now we're down to 10th. Now I guess who's behind? Cobman again. Well, he's not right behind at the moment, no. Let's go on board. So I'll try and protect my keyboard from my cat again. Come here, cat. Oh. To say here. Getting towards the end of the race though, so I do want to be making up some positions now. Moses has a big snap there coming out of Hawthorns. Definitely feel like I've got the pace to get past these guys. But I'm still not really pushing too hard, just driving within the car. See, I'm just cautious through there. I'm not trying to hustle these guys too hard because I don't want another penalty. Now it's going to get a bit tight. Showing my intent, I'm going down the outside. Loads of room, look. I think I got another penalty. Just sick of it. Sick of it. Yep. So another penalty, miles out of the way. Oh, and look who's here. Cheers, bro. There's another penalty. By this point, I'm just furious. Back to 11th, with another penalty to serve, serving it now. I don't know what I could do to have got less penalties this race, apart from just maybe not bother entering the race full stop. I should have qualified, I suppose. I should have qualified. Well, I did qualify. I didn't have enough time to do it that well to learn the track in practice. yeah, tough. I think it was a nations race. I think I remember now. I didn't spend much time practicing it, so I think I didn't get a good qualifying lap. And I suppose you could argue that that's my fault and all these penalties have come as a result of that, but I don't think my driving has deserved any of these penalties I've been given. But there you go. I'm sure everybody feels the same. But yeah, Cuba Tom had a right go at me after the race. I don't know why. Felt like I was pretty fair with him the whole time, but here we go. Oh, hey, hold on. I do know why. I think it's coming up. I felt like he brake tested me, but obviously he's not going to think he did, but see what you think. So here we go, 2 laps to go. What are his tyres like? Let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, look at that, his left front's almost twice as much wear as me. So we're going to have to speed through Hawthorns and Westfield. I've got a slightly better run through Paddock than he did. Cautious on the brakes into Druids, but we're still closing the gap, look. Get on the power out into Graham Hill. Nice early brake, missed the apex, never mind. It's still just about in the toe. We both messed up Surtees. 2.5 laps to go. Into Hawthorne, so he's going to be slow through here, remember, because of his tyre wear, and lo and behold, look, he is pretty slow. There's another penalty. Yep, serving it. I've just had enough at this point. Shouldn't even be racing these guys. I think he was mad at... yeah, alright, so... he's mad at me for giving him that penalty, I suppose. He's very slow into that corner, though. Mate, it's just the deficit in tyres, isn't it? Because he's very slow to Hawthorns as well. Let's watch it from his point of view, actually. Yeah, the fact that my shove doesn't take him anywhere near close to running off the track, I think he was too slow. It was a bit of a brake test. Let's watch it one more time. Through Hawthorns. Now I'm ready for him to brake. It's just not getting back on the... I don't know. It's just one of those. There you go, we both got penalties for that. Serving mine. Not happy about it. Shame. I feel like I could have had 5th at least. It's just a penalty fest, and once you get that one penalty, it just tends to lead to more. But there we go. It's a clear track. I'm angry now, so I'm going to be pushing. You can tell straight away, can't you? The difference in attitude of the car. This isn't good though. You should be able to control your temper as a driver. Stay calm. Nothing that happens on track, nothing that any other driver should do, should affect your mental approach. How hot-headed you get, whether you're driving hot or cold. You know what I mean. So I'm driving a bit too hot here, but at the same time, I just want to drive without getting penalties for a bit. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. I just want to enjoy the track without feeling like I'm just going to get a penalty for whatever I do. So the last 2 laps were just my own enjoyment, really. The race has been blown, so I'm just out here just to have a bit of fun now. But there we go. So yeah, let me know what you think. Did I deserve the plethora of penalties I got in that race? Maybe some of them, I think probably. But ultimately, I do think that they were way too harsh. Most of what happened that race was just racing. Apart from the penalties that I accidentally gave someone whilst I was serving another penalty, perhaps. But I mean, again, even that's awkward because you know you're ghosted when you're serving a penalty, and obviously you want to get going again as quickly as possible. So there's always going to be, if you think you're ghosted, when you become unghosted, it's just a bit of a nightmare at the moment. And like I say, I'm all for penalties. I agree with the system. I like the system, and it did need to be changed because it wasn't really penalising people much before. But now you're being penalised just for racing. And worse than that, you're being penalised for mistakes others are making. And they're heavy penalties as well. Most of the penalties are 2 to 5 seconds for very, very minor contacts if you're an S-rank driver. 2 seconds is enormous in a race. So maybe light side-to-side contact could be revised to a few tenths or half a second or something. That might be a bit fairer, because it's enough to let the other car that you made contact with reclaim the position, isn't it? But it's not enough to put you right down the back of the pack where you're just going to be given more penalties. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I didn't enjoy this race though, let's put it that way, which is a shame because I enjoyed the first half of the first stints. That's how it should be. You should be driving like that, sort of cautiously, giving people space, but being decisive and making moves when the opportunity arises, which I did. I can't even remember what happened now. How did I end up back here? Some penalties for something, but there we go. Maybe I'll grow to like it. We'll see. But I didn't enjoy this race. I was in a bit of a strop after this race, so I think I came off the game. Let me know if you've had similar experiences, and either way, I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed. In a bit.